Morning, everybody. This is Miss Sarah and Miss Ruth, and we welcome you to St. James Sunday School here in Waterdown. Today we're really happy. It is Mother's Day and spring is here, and we've been enjoying the flowers. We've been going for walks almost every morning through the woods and seeing the trilliums and the jack-in-the-pulpit and the violets, and they've been great. We can't pick those kinds of things, but these are some from my garden that we've been enjoying, and I like to leave them in the garden. They stay a lot longer than picking them, but we wanted to show you some of the colors of nature right now. God's world is so beautiful, breaking open with beautiful, beautiful colors. So these are tulips and double daffodils. Okay, and this morning on our walk, we actually saw a baby bunny, two baby bunnies and their mummy. That was really cool, wasn't it? Wow, so good. So anyway, this is our bunny. The bunnies today were brown, but this is the time when the birds are laying their eggs, and we're going to see the baby birdies pretty soon, the robins in particular, and lots of bunny rabbits. So it's a fun time to be walking through the woods and seeing nature come alive. So today we're going to be looking at ways that we can help our community. We talked about ways we could help Mom last time, and we need to think about helping Mom with Mother's Day today for sure, don't we? That's right. So we're going to sing our song, which is count our blessings with our families and having Mom and Grandma and all those wonderful people in our lives. Okay, here we go.
Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God has done.
Now we're going to listen. Listening?
When upon life's billows you are tempest tossed, when you are discouraged thinking all is lost, count your many blessings, name them one by one, and it will surprise you what the Lord has done.
Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God has done.
We're going to listen again. Okay, listen.
So amid the conflict, whether great or small, do not be discouraged, God is over all. Count your many blessings, angels will attend, help and comfort give you to your journey's end.
Go.
Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God has done. Count your many blessings, see what God has done.
Awesome. I like that one. That's an old favorite, and it's a fun one to look at. So we're looking at two pictures over on our bulletin board this time. One is of women, mothers, with their children in the time of Jesus. And you can see that the one has made some clothing, looks like a coat, and is giving it to the one son. So we do a lot of sewing today in our church too, and in our community, and we've been sewing a lot of things for our community people, especially Mass, also things to help the nursing staff and the health staff. The next one is one of our moms. That's Amanda with her two children that come to this Sunday school, Elam and Ann, and I know they're watching, so I thought we'd say Happy Mother's Day to not only Amanda, but to all the mums and grandmas that are out there watching today. But Amanda did give me that picture, so I was able to put it up today. So Happy Mother's Day. So we're going to look over at our story now. And so after Jesus left us and went up to God his Father, the disciples and the people who followed Jesus and wanted to spread the love of Jesus kept building more and more community. These disciples actually didn't keep any homes of their own. They gave everything that they had to help other people, and I know we do a lot of that today. So one in particular was a very giving person, and they called him Barnabas. And Barnabas means something like our helper or Mr. Helper. So here's Mr. Helper talking with a couple of the disciples, and he's just telling them that he had a piece of land and he was deciding that he would sell the land and give the money from the land to the disciples so that they were able to use that for the people who needed it. So we have been doing a lot of charity work all over, not only St. James, but many, many different groups of people have been helping out, much like Barnabas did. So I just thought this was a good story that relates really well to us today. So here's Barnabas with, he had an orchard, so he was always bringing food. We have food banks, we're always doing that ourselves. Here he is with two of the women and giving them some food to pass out to people too. So Barnabas was one of those big community people. Everyone has people like that in their community that just does everything to help others in any way they can. So this is our verse today. Share with God's people who are in need. And that comes from Romans 12, verse 13. Okay, we'll go over here to our craft table. And I thought since it was Mother's Day, we would think about hands and sharing with hands and how Mom's hands help us all the time. So I traced my little Sarah over here, her little hand, and I've got thank you for loving hands. So I thought all different ways we could thank Mom for what she does with her hands and draw pictures of it. So inside I've got hands that hug me. So you can do simple little hands like that. You can trace your hands if you want to, or you can draw little hands like that. Hands that pick me up. Hands that pick me up if I fall down and I'm over in the playground and I hurt myself. Hands that pick me up. Hands that do all kinds of things for you. Hands that are making your meal. So you can make lots of other pages. Hands that reach out to help others. That's what our message is today, like Barnabas did. And a lot of the women in this area are helping. I know tomorrow I'm taking plants over to Alexander Place, and so are a lot of other community people to make a new garden for them. So we're all reaching out, the whole community, to help with our long-term care homes in the area. And we're talking about spring and flowers and color. And this is a book that's called God's Paintbrush. I'm just going to read one chapter or one page for you. But I did want to show you, like, painting is something you can do at home if you have some paint. So this was a magnolia tree in our front yard and a robin that was sitting in it one day. So that's a painting I did. I like to do paintings. I know you like to do paintings. So get out your paper and your paints and just look around, do a sketch, and then paint. So I will read from this God's Paintbrush. The page that has to do with mums is right here. My mom and I went shopping in the city. There in the middle of a crowded department store was a little boy. He was alone and crying. My mom held his hands in hers and took him to the clerk who worked at the store. The clerk made an announcement over the loudspeaker saying that a little boy was lost. Before long, his mom came and gave him a great big hug, just like in our little booklet. My mom hugged me too, and I'm not sure why. One of the things I like about my mom is her hands. When I was just a baby, my mom said that her hands rocked the cradle so I wouldn't cry. I wonder if God's hands rock the world, taking care of us as we go through different kinds of struggles all the time. So I love that. It had to do with hands and mom and painting. And another activity that we haven't talked about for a while lately is using plasticine. So you can, or Play-Doh. This is Play-Doh that I made a while ago, and it actually it's really good. I find it's better than the stuff you buy. So you can use it, it's so soft. You can make it flat by just kind of using your fist and using the palm of your hand. And you can use your fingers and make imprints of your whole hand or just your fingers. You can make imprints of many different kinds of things that might be here. You can cut it. You can make ideas of things that you can do to help others. So you can, make a flower or anything at all. So a flower would just be with a stem. So that would be one of these. This is called a coil, or call them a snake or a worm sometimes. You can make some leaves on it, just like that. Just take a little piece, make a little leaf on it. Maybe another one would be nice. Just squeeze it out like that. So easy to work with. And then you can make the bloom part. So you can make petals that are separate, like this, and just squeeze them at the bottom. And you can add those until you get maybe 4 or 5, and that makes a flower. So it doesn't matter what color your Play-Doh is. We don't see too many brown flowers, but I made this the natural clay color that I like to use. So there's 3 petals, and you see it's starting to look like a flower. Let's add one more. Okay, so just take some clay, squeeze it, press it at the bottom. That makes your petal. And there you go, you've made a flower. So that can dry if you wish, and then it could be painted, or you can put it back in the bag and keep it moist and make lots of things in the future with it. That's what we tend to do here. So I'm going to end with our little prayer. And it is, dear God, please help us show your love to each other by sharing. So think about, as you're sharing with the responsibilities at home, maybe you can help with things that Mom usually does. Let's do them for her today. And look around the world and enjoy all the color and all the beauty that's there for us, especially in spring. So this is Miss Ruth saying bye for now, and we'll see you next week.